Scorpio, welcome to your December astrological forecast. You have a lot going on this month because your ruling planet, Mars, is going retrograde. Isn't that fun? We'll get into it. I'll explain it a little bit more. But your main focus points for this month is going to be career, money, and home. Let's just get straight into it. We start off the month, Mercury retrograde. On the 5th of December, we have Mercury Cazimi in the second house. This is flash of intuition, flash of insight, awareness as to your resources, how you make money, your self-worth. Mercury retrograde is happening in your second house. And so the second house, once again, has to do with your resources. And so there may be a little bit of confusion. There may be a little bit like, oh, like it feels uncomfortable in terms of your resources, your money-making abilities, your sources of income. However, on this day, December 5th, you will have a flash of insight, intuition, awareness of what it is that you need to do in order to improve it. So make sure you write these things down. Whatever comes to you on December 5th, there may be a certain idea that comes to you. Whatever it is, write it down. So that way, when Mercury does finally get out of retrograde, you can start implementing this and start moving forward in terms of how to increase the abundance in your life, and especially in terms of your resources. Then on December 6th, we have Mars retrograde, your ruling planet in Leo, happening in the 10th house. This has to do with career, so it's actually going to be very interesting for you. Normally, Mars going direct in the 10th house would be amazing, disciplined, go-getter type of energy in terms of your career and pushing forward in that way, pushing forward in terms of making sure that your purpose is fulfilled and you're being seen in a way that resonates with who you truly are. However, with Mars going retrograde, it can be, we're reanalyzing, we're restructuring. We're starting to realize with Mars going retrograde, there are certain ideas or certain belief systems, certain programs that we had in place of how we wish to be perceived in the world, our purpose, our path, that need to get rewritten in order for us to continue forward. In order for us to truly go down the path in the right way, we need to take a couple steps back. Because the thing with Mars is, yes, it's very forceful energy and it wants to move forward and it wants to get things done super quick, super fast. But if it makes the wrong step and if it falls, then you have to start all over again. And then you just wasted all of this energy moving forward on a path that wasn't even right for you. So Mars retrograde is allowing us to take that step back right now. Don't fight the current, don't fight the flow. Allow this time to be a time of introspection to really make sure, what are your goals? What is your mission? What do you want to accomplish? Making sure you have it all boom, 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 and take the steps, right? But note that some of the steps may be blocked. You may have to pivot, you may have to change, you may have to shift. There's a couple things that may come up in the way that prevent you from achieving that goal as quickly as you would like, but it's okay. Realize that it's all divine timing and it will still work out the way that you want it to work out. Sometimes things need to be done at a nice, slow, and steady pace in order to ensure that the results are sustainable. Next, we have on December 7th, Venus entering Aquarius in your 4th house. This is of home and family. So this is great because Venus is about love, beauty, harmony in your 4th house of home and family. So starting on December 7th, we can notice that if you want to redecorate your home, you want to add more beauty, more flowers into your home, nice smelling things, just make your house feel super homey, making sure that you're spending time with your family. Family interactions can go a lot more harmoniously at this time for the next month. So it's a great time. It's a great vibe for you guys. On the 15th, we have full moon in Gemini in the 8th house and Mercury direct in the 2nd house. So full moon in Gemini in the 8th house. The 8th house has to do with deep-rooted fears, traumas, insecurities. It also has to do with debts, inheritances, investments, and other people's money. So there's full moons are endings. You may notice an ending in terms of certain debt that you had. You may pay off certain debt around this time, which is great. You can also notice an ending, a closing out of cycles of certain deep-rooted insecurities and traumas that you've been trying to work through. And finally, on this full moon in Gemini, you purge it all out. It's gone. It's cleared. You finally, yes, it works out for you. It's finally cleared out for you. So it's a good vibe. It's a good vibe overall. And then also Mercury going direct in your second house of money and finances and resources. So things are going to start moving along in that front as well. So it could definitely be like you pay off a debt on the 15th of December that was probably like holding you down, weighing you down a little bit. On the 19th of December, we have Venus trine Jupiter. This is the most beneficial aspect of the month. How exciting, happening in your 4th house and your 8th house. 4th house, once again, home and family. 8th house, once again, debts, insecurities, fears. This is bringing a nice little blending of energies of the two, okay? So it could be that you, and because it's also investments, 8th house is also investments, you could invest into beautifying your home. You could put money into making your house more enjoyable and a much more harmonious place to be for you. Something that's healing. Like you want your home to be a place of healing and a place that you can go to and feel like, yes, like it fills your soul. And so this is going to be a great time to just like, you can just like chill out the house and have a good time by yourself with like some friends, some family, you know. On the 21st, we have Sun in Capricorn in your 3rd house. Is going to bring some more energy into the area of life that has to do with communication and your local environment. So you may notice yourself just having more positive interactions with the people around you, your neighbors, going out to the park, seeing the people in your neighborhood, the grocery store people, you just have conversations with them. Like you just start feeling a little bit more communicative and having deeper connections with the people in your immediate environment. On the 24th, we have Jupiter square Saturn. This is happening in your 8th house and your 5th house. So there could be a little bit of a restriction with Saturn in your 5th house. It could be a possibility that you may have felt restricted in terms of like dating, because 5th house is about dating, short-term relationships. 5th house also has to do with your creativity. It has to do with your passions, things that you do for fun. And Saturn just restricts those things. So you may have felt, because Saturn has been in this area of your chart for the past year almost, you may have felt restricted in these areas. And Jupiter wants to expand. Jupiter in your 8th house is trying to expand your mind, your psyche. Like it's trying to purge and break free of like the things that have held you back in terms of like your debts and money issues, and making sure you expand your investments and that you have a nice little nest egg for the future, you know. And so there could feel a little bit of a restriction in terms of like, you feel like maybe you have to sacrifice some fun. You feel like you have to sacrifice certain things that you find pleasurable in your life in order to make sure that, you know, your debts are paid off, in order to make sure that you're saving up money for the future. And so there's that feeling of like, especially this is happening on the 24th, you may feel like you want to do these fun things, but at the same time you're like, if I do these fun things, then I'm not going to have money for the future, and then I prefer these things in the future more than I prefer this thing right now. And it's that dissonance there. This is a buildup that's happening up until the 24th. The 24th is the peak, and then it's going to slowly start waning itself down through the beginning of January. And then last but not least, we have the new moon in Capricorn happening in your 3rd house of communications. Once again, like your local environment, new beginnings in terms of like relationships with people around you. Also, 3rd house has to do with siblings, so you could just like do something new with your siblings if you have any, doing something new in your immediate environment, communicating in a new way, like starting a blog or something like that, something that requires you to speak and express yourself to people around you. So yeah, that's the month of December for you guys, Scorpio. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I do have personal readings on my website if you're interested. If not, please like, share, subscribe. That would be amazing. I would love you guys for it. And thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.